Good afternoon. Roka's here with you, and it's a truly beautiful day of spring here. It's also spring here in Druskiniki. I'm just coming out from outside, and it's really an amazing weather here. And today I'd like to talk about the stages of life. That is childhood, youth, maturity, and old age. Sometimes, when a person is in one of the stages, his parts happen to be still in other stages, previous stages, and that's not good, because then the person can't receive all the universal energies that are meant for his current stage. For example, the stage of childhood is the stage of learning, where the person is learning, and maybe even to put it more precisely, it's not that he's learning, but he's taught by others. Simply he's being taught by others. These stages can also be reflected in certain areas, in specific life situation, life stages, and also in the evolution of the whole soul. But today, I'll maybe talk more about the stages of this particular lifetime, how they manifest, and what to do in order to do 100% of what needs to be done in these stages. As I mentioned, in the stage of childhood, it is where other people are teaching us, in the stage of learning. This is where we learn more about the world, learn more about society. This is where we learn more about the environment that we're in. The second stage is the stage of youth. That's the stage of searching. The person is searching for his life purpose, for how he can best realize himself. It's simply searching. Searching requires quite a lot of energy. The person is often going around from one thing to another, same thing in relationships, same thing in career. The stage is also needed, but one shouldn't stay in it for too long. That's a stage that would seem like it provides a lot of freedom. The person's quite free there. Thus, people often don't want to move on to the third stage, to maturity. But when it's time to go to maturity, then the freedom becomes just purely delusional. Because the person who's in youth and who should transition into maturity loses a lot of universal energy that he could use for creation. And in maturity arises stability. There's no longer that indecision. And if the second stage of youth is that of searching, then the third stage of maturity is that of creation. Then the person creates, builds, acts, creates relationships, family, career, business. And often people who don't go from youth, from that delusional freedom to maturity, they often can't channel the energy they're receiving from the universe for maturity, and that leads to degradation. For example, when people want more of that freedom, for that illusional freedom, and they simply become alcoholics, it's already time for them to start creating something, and they're still maybe 40 or 50 years old, and they're still going to some young people's parties, just participating in some parties, and they're just wasting their energy staying there in this way. The stage of old age is where you're enjoying the fruits of your labor that you created in your maturity. Maybe some people have created in childhood and youth, but the ground is coming from maturity. That is just enjoying those fruits. And really, if we are supposed to be in a certain stage, but we're still in the old stage, then we lose a lot of energy and we create much less than we otherwise would. For seers, simply look and find out through your inner seeing what stage you should be at currently. Find what parts need to be returned from the past stages, what to do to return your parts from there to now, and what you should do in order to realize yourself 100% in this current stage in which you are and in which you need to be right now. That's it for today about childhood, youth, maturity, and old age.